Good afternoon, I'm Rob Boskamp, and you're listening to South Texas Midday. It's Wednesday, October 15th. Yesterday, a federal judge granted a McAllen city commissioner and his wife bond following an appeal hearing. KRGV reports that McAllen city commissioner for Place 4, Rodolfo Castillo, and his wife Bertha are accused of using their used clothing business as a front for a smuggling operation. The couple were initially granted bond on October 3rd, but prosecution filed an appeal to have it revoked, and the couple had remained in federal custody since then. Rodolfo's bond was set at $100,000, and Bertha's bond was set at $75,000. At yesterday's Kingsville City Commission meeting, the commission ultimately and officially made Charlie Sosa the city manager. First members voted 3-2 against rescinding the contract offer for Sosa, who had been serving as interim city manager. That vote effectively allowing the city to move forward with finalizing Sosa's employment agreement was followed by another 3-2 vote to approve his contract. In Corpus Christi, yesterday, City Council approved 2 fire station replacement projects. The 60-year-old Fire Station 10 on Horn and Greenwood will be replaced. The new building will be constructed further down Horn Road between the National Guard building and the current fire station. Meanwhile, Fire Station 8 on Castoris Road near Sunnybrook will also receive a replacement building. The 70-year-old station's new facility will be built on Castoris and McArtle. Construction on both new fire stations is expected to begin next month and will take a year to complete. Victoria residents will soon vote on whether local firefighters can enter into a civil service agreement with the city. Early voting begins Monday and runs through October 31st. Election day is Tuesday, November 4th. If approved, Victoria firefighters would gain the ability to negotiate pay, benefits, and working conditions while maintaining protections against strikes and lockouts. Also on the ballot for Victoria residents will be Judge Bob Whitaker. The longtime Republican judge has officially announced he will seek re-election as Justice of the Peace for Precinct 3 in Victoria County. Judge Whitaker has served on the bench since 2007. He presides over Victoria County's only full-time Justice of the Peace Court. Whitaker has presided over more than 1,500 trials. He was inducted into the College of Justice Court Judges in 2009 and has received recognition for his work supporting crime victims. He also serves as a mentor and instructor to fellow justices of the peace through the Texas Justice Court Training Center. In state news, leaders in the Texas House and Senate have formed a joint committee to investigate the July 4th flooding in the Hill Country. As the Texas Newsroom's Blaze Gainey reports, lawmakers say the goal is to make sure the state is better prepared the next time a disaster hits.
After passing several flood-related bills during the special session, lawmakers promised they'd continue their response to the Hill Country disaster. Now, a 10-member committee, 5 representatives and 5 senators, will take a deeper look. Republican Representative Drew Darby is one of them. Ahead of the first special session, he said the tragedy could be a turning point.
Sometimes it takes a disaster like this to focus everyone upon a goal, a common goal, and a will to get that goal across the finish line.
House Speaker Representative Dustin Burrows says that even with the bills passed during the second special session, there's still a need for what he called a comprehensive and thorough review. They have no meeting date set just yet. I'm Blaze Gainey in Austin.
Texas Representative Gina Hinojosa announced yesterday that she is running for governor next year, setting up a potential clash between Republican Governor Greg Abbott and one of legislature's critics of his school voucher program. And some Texas National Guard troops deployed to Chicago have been sent home for allegedly failing to meet fitness standards. Houston Public Media's Andrew Schneider reports this followed an ABC News photo of overweight troops with Texas uniform patches that went viral.
The Texas Military Department confirmed on the military news site Task and Purpose that a small group of the 200 National Guard soldiers deployed to Illinois last week had been sent home for not being in compliance with its validation process. The move followed a speech by Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth at the Pentagon last month to hundreds of military commanders.
If the Secretary of War can do regular, hard PT, so can every member of our joint force. Frankly, it's tiring to look out at combat formations, or really any formation, and see fat troops.
Last week, the National Guard issued a statement saying all troops had to meet height, weight, and fitness standards. I'm Andrew Schneider in Houston.
Victoria County's Navigation District has signed an agreement with Blue Energy to lease about 70 acres at the Texas Logistics Center. According to a statement from the port, the agreement allows Blue Energy to study potential development of modular nuclear power facilities that could generate 1.5 gigawatts of clean energy. The proposed project is expected to require more than $1 billion in initial capital investment and could create up to 100 permanent high-paying jobs. Dr. Anita Curian, the new director of the Corpus Christi Nueces County Public Health District, will begin her new role on Monday. Curian previously served as assistant director at the San Antonio Metropolitan Health District. She succeeds interim director Dr. Dante Gonzalez. The City of Victoria has announced 2 promotions. First, Kate Garcia has been promoted to Assistant Director of Programs and Community Services for Parks and Recreation. She will be responsible for special event operations at city venues, including De Leon Plaza and the soon-to-be renovated Victoria Community Center, as well as recreation and sports tourism. Garcia was the executive assistant to the city manager before being hired as the city's first Main Street manager in 2022. Next, Austin Anderson has been promoted to Operations and Maintenance Manager for Public Works. He will oversee the surface water treatment plant, the wastewater treatment plant, and the utilities division. Anderson was hired with the city 19 years ago as a utility maintenance worker, and from there worked his way up to utilities manager before being promoted to his current role. KEDT FM celebrates its anniversary this week. In honor of our anniversary, we'll take a look back at some recent stories that were broadcast on our local news. Today, Ivan Sotelo revisits the Ritz in a story aired late last year about the theater's restoration project.
Initially opened in 1929, the Ritz Theater existed in the Coastal Bend as a hub for the arts, cultural exchange, and the heart of downtown Corpus Christi's mystique. Since the 1980s, the theater has been sitting dormant, only existing in the memory of those fortunate enough to experience it in its prime. Recently, however, a community effort to repair, restore, and revive the theater has gone underway and has made great progress in reopening the theater.
So it's very exciting. It's something we've not had here since it closed in 1989. We want to bring it back to what it looked like in the 1930s, but state-of-the-art where we can, accommodate all these fantastic shows and things that are happening on across the nation. We bring them here and then also for our community.
Although it cannot be said how soon the theater will reopen to the public for all to enjoy, the current dream is to be ready for the building's 100th anniversary in 2029. The continued support of those in the community, as well as the Texas Historical Commission, means so much to the future of the project and its ability to celebrate the history of our area and uplift the sorts of arts and business that surrounds it.
And I also say that anything that happens inside that theater is going to make a positive impact for all businesses downtown. With the diverse programming that can happen within that building, there's going to be so much to do. And one of the other really exciting things is if there's something happening in the main theater and the historic side, we still can have things in the studio theater. We could still have the venue upstairs being utilized by a party. Arts education can be happening. It's a building that we'll be able to use 7 days a week.
The Ritz Revival Project is always searching for more volunteers, contributors, and community members to share the passion of bringing new light to this old flame. So if you are interested, visit ccritz.com for more information. This is intern reporter Ivan Sotelo for KEDT News.
San Benito Stonewall Jackson Hotel is now officially a state landmark. In 2022, the Texas Historical Commission designated the boarded-up 98-year-old 3-story hotel as a Texas landmark, and this week the building received its Historical Commission marker. The building stands as a monument and a callback to the city's time as Cameron County's agriculture hub. San Benito Housing Authority applied for the designation about a decade after city officials condemned the building. The Housing Authority bought the Stonewall Jackson back in 2012 for $220,000. Meanwhile, back in the Corpus Christi area, Tax Increment Reinvestment Zone 2 has approved a $700,000 skate park for Billish Park in the Padre Isles neighborhood. The project was approved by the Island Strategic Action Committee around this time last year. Funding would be reallocated from the $6.6 million Sand Dollar Avenue project. The skateboard project will be presented at a later date to Corpus Christi City Council for final approval. Yesterday, Santos McBain management and planning officials outlined progress to Refugio County commissioners regarding multiple infrastructure and environmental projects across the county. The The Refugio County Press reports that Santos McBain continues to coordinate with Texas Commission on Environmental Quality regarding improvements to Ostwell Pier. A draft contract amendment includes extended timelines, updated cost estimates, and a proposed completion date of December of 2026. Construction cannot begin until a notice to proceed is issued pending review of plans and permits by TCEQ and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. The city of Corpus Christi will hold its annual vehicle and equipment auction at 10 a.m. Saturday at the city auction lot at 5352 Air Street. The city sells used or obsolete equipment that still has value and reinvests the revenue for purchasing new vehicles and equipment. This year's auction lots will include over 200 vehicles as well as other items such as compressors, trailers, watercraft, and more. The auction preview is Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Saturday. There also will be a live cast for the auction. And material from the demolished original Queen Isabella Causeway will be used to create an artificial reef site. The reef will be located about 10 miles offshore of the Brownsville Ship Channel entrance jetties at South Padre Island. The project is expected to cost approximately $9.2 million and will serve as a habitat for marine life managed by Texas Parks and Wildlife. The original causeway was replaced in 1974 with the current causeway that connects Port Isabel to South Padre Island. Construction on a second causeway project is expected to begin in 2029. And that is the latest news and information on South Texas Midday. I'm Rob Boskamp. Your community arts calendar and more is on the way.